But I'm just going to go over awards. I'm going to kind of talk about each girl a little bit. I know I didn't do this last year, but I feel like this is kind of like my first true class. I started with, I kind of came into this, tryouts were already done last year, and my squad was set. So this is the first year where I got to do the tryouts, brought other people in, your scores were what they were, and I kind of knew where everyone was just from the year before, and you guys played it out just like it was going to be. COVID took a hit on us like crazy. I mean, in our parents' meeting, I told you guys it was going to be a really crazy year. It was going to be last minute things, last minute cancellations, and as we know, that's exactly what happened. But we had a season. We were able to do it. We were able to cheer, go out there, have fun. So we'll start with, let's have Mackenzie Ambacher come up first. So Mackenzie is a sophomore. Mackenzie does football and basketball. This was her first year cheering for basketball, and she worked her butt off because she wanted it. She didn't make the basketball team her freshman year, kicked her butt all summer long, and came back and made football and basketball. She was tumbling. I hope she's working on that because we're going to be using it this fall, along with some stunting that I just signed up for my classes at Kent 2 days ago. So we've got some stunting along the ways. I just have to get the insurance approval and talk to them about that. So I'm going to go to a class for that. Mackenzie, one thing I would like you to tell everyone is your most favorable memory of this year. It can be football or basketball, since we didn't have. You get put on the spot, the first one. Everyone else gets to think about it.
Oh boy. I really like what? Probably our little Halloween thing that we did, where we just got to hang out a little bit and have pizza, and that was fun.
Okay. So I took a couple little notes here of each girl that I wrote down, some things that reminded me of them. I don't know I really even have to look at it, but I'm going to go over one memory that I have of each girl. And one of my biggest memories with Mackenzie was she came to me and asked, Coach, I need a little bit of extra help. Let's go over things. A couple other girls, so we all got together. And Mackenzie tends to be very quiet. She doesn't look quiet. She's not quiet at all. She's a little quiet. So to get Mackenzie to cheer, I bribed her with my dogs. Mackenzie wanted to play with the dogs, and I said, if you cheer and you give me your loud voice, I will let you play with the dogs the rest of the time. That was the loudest this girl has ever cheered, probably all season, on the court, off the court. So I'm going to bring her a little stuffed animal dog, and I'm going to set it at tryouts for her to remind her she needs to be loud. So that is my memory that I want to share with everyone about Mackenzie. So this will be Mackenzie's first year. You already have your numbers, right? Mm-hmm. So there is your award. And then I'm going to hand you this, but I don't want you to open it and look at the back until everyone gets them, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. McKenna. McKenna is a freshman. It is her first year doing football and basketball. McKenna only signed up to cheer football. But I had my two freshmen that both had not signed up, Gabby, who's not here. Their scores were amazing. My judges were like, why are these girls not signed up for basketball? So I literally reached out to her and I said, I need you on basketball. And I want to know, would you want to? She's like, yes. I think she was more scared she wasn't going to make it, so she didn't put her name down. So this girl here, she has a I want it attitude. She's gonna go all the way. She's gonna be a leader of the group. I can't wait to see her come back. One of my big memories with her is I'm going to go back to football. We were at football, and her and Gabby were over by the sidelines, and I'm like, why are they just over there? Why are they standing there by themselves? And then Kaylee goes, because McKenna is the mom of Gabby. That's why her name's McKenna. Her mom knew that she was going to be the mom of McKenna, which, you know what? I can totally see her being a mom of our group. I mean, she's like the most lovable, quiet, but this girl is, I see future for you, and I can't wait for your tryouts next year. So, McKenna, this is first year JV for you. And then again, hold on to this, but don't open it up yet. Okay? All right, the other ones were in softball, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the varsity. Oh, your memory, McKenna. Oh. You can do it from there. What's your favorite memory?
Probably going over to the band and dancing with them. That was awesome. Like, that was my favorite.
Okay. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to varsity. Faith, you're up first. All right. Third year varsity.
Yeah.
So, Faith, football, basketball, both cheerleading. Third year doing her varsity for basketball. Strict as can be. Girl's got the arms like a pretzel that can turn, but she gets there. Enthusiasm, cheering on the boys on the court. She's always one of the first ones that you hear to cheer when she's not cheering. She's a go-getter. She's involved in a lot. I know she really loves her animals. We're always working around, Coach, I got fair, but I got to feed my animals. Let's feed your animals. Come in, do the cheer. I don't care. I'm used to if we smell, we'll smell together. It's okay. We'll have the farm. What am I going to do next year? She was my one that told me, Coach, I have this band song. We're doing this for band, this one on halftime. Pretty sure we're going to have to swallow that down to our other band person here and be my go-to for band. Tell me what's going to be at halftime versus what we're going to be able to do on the sidelines. She'd pick dances up. She would, during camp, she was the first one to be like, I remember it. I'm coming back. We were doing basketball. We had to remember the basketball dance, and Faith was right for it. She would get up there, teach the girls. And so my favorite memory of Faith is going to be when I first actually met her before practices even started. It was at the fair. And she came running up to me, and I was like, oh gosh, I recognize this girl, but is she, I don't know. And then I was like, oh, hi, Faith. I even remembered her name. And she goes, hi, Coach. And she was like a mile a minute. And I was like, this is going to be the girl that's going to talk all the time. Faith was the girl that talked all the time. So that's my memory. So here is your pin for your third year and your award. And good luck with everything you do at Youngstown.
And your memory?
And your memory.
Probably just sitting and like at cheer camp with like Kenna and Sam and Gabby and eating our food, and then Kenna like had like a pomegranate or something and it exploded all over herself. You guys, you had to be there. You had to be there.
All right. Thank you, Faith. Kenzie. As most of us know, Mackenzie is the only cheerleader on the varsity squad that was not a senior. We had a strong group of seniors, so she was in tears and pretty darn excited when she found out that she had made varsity. But I think that everyone in this room can challenge this girl to know that she deserved that varsity spot just as much as anyone else. Mackenzie is very quiet. So for her to have the voice on the court, I think we can go a little bit louder next year and be that, go-to that everyone's looking up to, because she's the only one that I have returning. My squad is gone. So she's got to help build up the squad, and I'm hoping that you have an awesome tryout. Mackenzie was one of my Falcon Fire. So as many of you guys, most of you know, I did JYFL. I was a coach there for 9 years. I had a competition squad that took some girls, and we did competitions, we did dance routines. We did that for four years. Mackenzie was one of those. So Mackenzie's been one of my cheerleaders since she's 5. Some of you may not know, she's also my cousin through a long distance relative. So I'm hoping that we continue. I'm a little harder on her. If I don't get something done, she's usually the one that says, Kenzie, I'll give it to you later. Sorry. But my biggest memory, I am going to pull in some Falcon Fire, is going to be her first competition. Kenzie was so scared to go on the mat that she wouldn't even go out to perform. She stopped there, she started bawling and crying, turned around, ran off, and wouldn't come back on the mat. Now, Mackenzie is a little hesitant to go, but as soon as everyone else goes, she goes. So I still see that. So next year we're going to work on being the first one out there. We're going to go and be the bronze. This is Mackenzie's first varsity year. She's a sophomore. So there's that, but you got your letter for football. So here is your pin. What is your favorite memory?
Probably like bus rides home when like Heaven would play music and we would all just like sing and be crazy and goofy.
All right. Thank you, Kenzie. Oh, Faith and Kenzie. Well, I'll just bring you all up here and do it then. I don't know if I trust you guys not to look at it.
Honestly, keep it.
Heaven. Man, I wish I could have brought my video tonight. Heaven is my many of many faces when I take my pictures, as we did last year. This is Heaven's first year as varsity. Should never have been her first year of varsity. But last year, my JV team was killer. They were stunner. I knew I was going to have an awesome varsity team just because how awesome they were on the court. Loud, strict, they can dance. They had it all. Last year's varsity team was excellent, loud, strict. You know, they were there, but they didn't shake it quite as well as my JV team could. So then we brought them in and they had it all. My favorite memory about Heaven, I'm going to last year. My favorite memory about Heaven is Midnight Madness. We were playing with, you know, I had talked to Rankin. I said, the girls really want to be there. They want to, you know, be involved. And Heaven was like, yeah, this is Heaven when she's excited. Yes, yes, let's go. And I said, all right, Heaven. She's like, I want to go first. So the football players were holding the, you know, their like dummies over at the side. Heaven is down in stance and she's ready to go. She slams into this dummy, goes down, jumping up and down, and then all of a sudden she comes over to me with a smile and she's like, I think I broke my wrist. But she's still jumping and she's still smiling. And I said, oh, you might have broke your wrist. But that's definitely a memory that I'll always remember of Heaven. So you received your varsity letter for football.
Thank you.
So you'll get a pin. And there's that. And what's your memory?
Football season senior night. That was just kind of unforgettable, especially like the gifts we got and like when we were giving the boys their gifts, because I know that meant a lot to them. That was my favorite memory.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck. I don't know what time it is. 4:16. Okay, Lissa. Am I allowed to say whatever I want as my memory?
Yes.
Okay. Lissa, this is your second year of varsity? Because you were with me in third. Or did you do sophomore year varsity? You were varsity for me last year and this year.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So Lissa has been they're all strong varsity players. I can't say I had one girl that every single one of these girls met the standards that I could have asked for. And I hope that my JV team watched them closely because every single one of them were strong. Lissa was my, I'll cheer JV. Do you need someone to cheer JV? I'll cheer JV. I had a couple girls that were always volunteering like that. And I take that to heart because, you know, once you make that JV, that varsity squad, and you've got 2 JV players because of everything we went through, and you're willing to cheer 2 games in a row and cheer on JV, not varsity, I think that states, like, that just shows a huge character in someone. She always wanted to be there. She didn't want them to be 2 JV girls out there. A lot of you guys did that. I mean, that's awesome for you guys. I think that's awesome. It shows the one thing that I say about cheer is we're a family. On the field, off the field. You don't have to be best friends, but you have to be family. Lissa's memory. My favorite, I don't know if it's favorite, I'd say, but everyone can pretty much say that the memory is Lissa had a hard time adjusting to me at first, I think. We were on the visitor side. I will not forget this to a T, on the visitor side. And you guys were practicing. I was up top watching. We were learning our new 2-3 and cleaning. And Lissa did not like I was changing that. The eye rolls, the huffs, and I was just like finally like, oh my gosh, what? And so someone came in and they're like, Coach, you're just too nice. You're being too nice. And it was a couple days before that, so that's it. I said, Lissa, stay behind. Everyone else, go. And Lissa was just like, again, the Lissa eye roll. I'm like, oh gosh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? I can't. And we talked, and you know what? That talk was the best talk we talked, because since then, she's came to me. We've been open. She's been honest. She's been open to the change of going from, the previous coach to myself. And she's my daughter's teacher, so I'm pretty lucky. So this is your certificate and your pin. And what is your favorite memory?
My favorite memory, I think, was our last tryout, because it was our senior year tryout, and I remember afterwards, me and Jenna were like, for sure we didn't make it. And then we, like, tears, and then we made it, and we were like, oh, it wasn't actually that bad.
All right, thanks, Lissa.
Thank you.
Olivia. I can't say just one memory about Olivia, because Olivia's always been the quiet, kept to herself, but talked to everyone. Kept to herself, but talked to everyone. But this girl, the enthusiasm on the sidelines, the cheering in between the cheers also, and the jumping. This girl is the jumper of the squad. I would say, hey guys, why don't we throw some jumps in there randomly, after she had already done like probably 10 in just the first quarter. I loved it. I think everyone else was kind of like, keep doing it so coach sees you and thinks we're doing it, because I'm not jumping. Right? She did it for the whole squad. She made enough for everyone. Let's see here. Yeah, so when Olivia, one thing I wrote down is Olivia, she was not scared to tell you if she didn't know what something was. When I first came, Olivia's first year cheering football was her junior year. She had only done basketball previously. So came into football, I wasn't real sure, and she's like, whoa guys, yeah, I need to do that again. And it was like that, whoa, she's my whoa girl. She's like, someone's got to show me that, because I don't know what we're doing. But she would pick it up right away, but she wasn't scared to tell you she didn't know something. She didn't say, oh, I'll work on that later. She wanted to know it. She asked right away, right up front. So Olivia, you also get a pin. What is your favorite memory?
I didn't, like, a lot of other girls, like, cheered when they were younger. So, like, my first years were, like, in junior high. So, like, I had, like, a pretty rough start. And I feel like a good closing to that was in basketball. Every single game, she would tell us, oh, my God, you guys are doing so good. You guys are cheering so loud. And that was kind of, like, a finishing. Like, it was a nice memory for me. Also, a little side memory is our last game. We have a cheer that one of the moves doesn't have a word associated with it. So to practice it, you would say ding. And you never said it when you cheered. And we said it like the last time we cheered it. And it was so funny. It was such like a happy little thing. But yeah.
Really? Thank you. Okay. Ava. My JV dancing queen. Last year when first off, Ava wasn't on my roster of cheerleaders when I came in, and I had heard that she had been a cheerleader before, and I'm like, well, what happened? And I was reached out to, and I got in touch with Ava, and I said, what's going on? Let's see. And Ava was like, yeah, I want to cheer. I said, okay, well, this is what we got to do, and we're going to cheer. And thank gosh she did, because if we wouldn't have had her during basketball last year, I'm not sure what we would have did, because she was like, okay, guys, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. You want something made up in a dance? She was usually the one to start the dance in that group. If you wanted something to be changed, she would usually have an idea of what could be changed. I knew she's another one when she was on JV but she didn't cheer basketball. I don't think you even signed up to do basketball, did you, at first? No. She just got put on it and then ended up, I think you loved it. Didn't you like basketball a lot better? That's what I thought. Because senior, you're like, oh, I can't wait for basketball season. I can't wait for basketball season. So it is. You usually like one or the other, but I think you excelled in both. I mean, on the field, off the field, you were, really my drama-free girl. You guys, I like to pair. We have our pairs that kind of like went together, and I always, I could always go to you guys, and you always came to me, and I knew that you and Heaven both were going to be like a strong sibling set together my senior year. So I have a lot of shared memories with Ava, some little under the table secrets that she'd come to, Coach, we have to. So I'm not going to tell mine, but I'm just going to say my favorite memory was probably one of our first couple games of your junior year. That kind of made us close. Mm-hmm. So I wish you luck. And this was your first year varsity, which also should have never been your first year varsity. But as we know, basketball's a hard one. So there's that. Here's your pin, because you already have your letter. And what is your favorite memory?
I just think the entire football season was just a really fun season. And even though COVID, kind of ruined a lot of things, it was just really fun and enjoyable. So, yeah.
Thank you. All right. The whole varsity squad, why don't you come up here as I bring Miss Jenna on this side. So the rest of the varsity squad kind of come over here. And then Jenna, we want you over here on this side. What? Yes, you're going to tumble. You're going to tumble. Okay.
Can't wait to see this one.
Don't mind me changing. So Jenna is going to be my first graduate of that Falcon Fire team that I had talked about. So I thought it was only necessary that I brought and wore my Falcon Fire jacket as I gave Jenna her award.
Oh, it's got the
so I'm just going to change my coat from my high school jacket to my Falcon Fire jacket.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I should have that. Okay. Maybe my uniform. Did you wonder why I did Ava before you?
I was like, Mom, does W come before B?
Oh, gosh. So Jenna, this is her also first year. She was another one of my bombshell JV girls last year. Came in captain for football. Rocked it. She was a great leader. I couldn't have asked for a better captain. Then we went into basketball, and she just continued on. I randomly would be like, well, I've got this suggestion. She knew. If someone was down on the team, Jenna was the first one to go to their house, to go talk to them, to go find them. Like, she was always one of my picker-uppers, and I really appreciate that. I have a lot of past with Jenna. I don't know what I would do probably as my biggest memory. I have tons of stuff written down. I like to call her my Falcon Fire facial beauty. I used to say that because she would always win the facial award. I think she won 2 of them during Falcon Fire season. And this, you can look, if you watch a video of our team, doing the dances, she brought them this year too, the facials, it was like memories. I was like deja vu, just watching her from the mat to the middle of the gym floor. So this was Jenna's first year, but we're gonna give her a pin because you already got your varsity. Here's your award.
Thank you.
What is your favorite memory?
Probably our last game at Grand Valley when we all messed up the starting 5 because
they called the JV names first, so I got confused. And I was thinking in my head, Lissa, Reed's starting varsity tonight. That wasn't the case.
That was a good one. Okay. So, JV, can you join our girls at the other end there?
I thought that you were going to talk about how I fell off the cheer float.
Oh, I have it on here, look!
Not once, but twice.
I told my mom as soon as she talks about that, I'm leaving.
Fall off the back of a moving float. It's on my notes. It's on my notes. I didn't forget it.
That's okay.
Okay. So, Faye. 10.
Nothing down for me.
We're gonna wing it.
Thank you. Hi, open it. Not yet. We don't have to have
And Ava.
Okay. Sorry, you're so impatient with us.
I'm super glad that Mr. Huber and Mr. Losey's here to hear this. Because I made them a shirt because there was cheerleaders are sometimes a rough group, right? You know, we're girls, we have drama, we have stuff going on. Every single game, I cannot tell you one game that we did not go to, that these girls were applauded for their voices, how great they looked on the court. I had referees come off during the game to come over and tell me, this is the loudest group of girls I've ever heard. I had coaches from the other teams, and I had parents of the other teams coming to me. How do you do that? Do you talk to their coach? So this group of girls is it's gonna take a lot for me to beat next year because they were super loud. And some of the other girls on the other teams would get, I think, a little jealous because they were so good. So some of their cheers are identical, and the other squad would try to do their cheer right after them and didn't quite do as well. So if you open up your shirt and read the back of it, I think something as a coach that I taught you kind of will represent what that says. Act like a lady, but cheer like a boss. Because some of them would be like, oh, coach, we gotta do it again and do it even louder. No. You did it awesome the first time. You're gonna act like a lady, but when you're second time, you're gonna cheer like a boss. So that's what you're saying. I love it. So, all right. I'm on my 7:30, so I did do a video. We can't play it, I'm just glad we got it, but I am going to post it on your guys' Facebook page so that you guys can still see that, watch through it as a family. I know that's one of the big things the girls really like, but couldn't do it here, but I promise I still did one. I still have to do a couple more slides that I'm going to add in now that we had our banquet, and I'll steal some pictures from someone. So, thank you. Seniors, good luck. We're going to miss you. My only critique.
Why did you write anything about me?
She says I was just talking.